Howdy, howdy, and welcome back to Gale Gaming. I am Serah, your host, and today we will be looking at Shiva Prison. So I piloted this deck at my locals, and it needs some tweaking and things, but I found it to be super fun, and so I wanted to share it. So, first of all, we've got our strategy, which is to put as many Shivas in the bin as we want to power up 1 CP Shiva. So 1 CP Shiva reads that when we cast it, we choose one forward and then another forward. If we have only like one summon named Shiva in our bin, basically we dull one of the forwards and the other one doesn't do anything. If we have two, we dull both. If we have four, we dull and freeze both. And if we have 6 or more Shivas in the bin, then we dull and freeze both, and our opponent discards 2 cards, all for 1 CP. So the idea of this deck is basically to mill ourselves into the Shiva combo. The way we do that is by using 4 CP Lightning, which has an ability that you can pay 1 CP and mill the top 2 to dull something or activate it. A forward, just in case you're thinking about locking down all their backups, because that would be broken. We can only do that once per turn, but by doing that, we basically turbo all our Shivas into the bin. We don't particularly care about casting them all that often, except for the 1 CP. There are some other times that we want to, but the main idea is to get those into the bin as soon as we can. An early Lightning also controls the board, so we want to play Lightning as early as possible, and by doing that, create a kind of lock, a soft lock on the board. And we use Serah to keep down the aggressive decks by actually casting our Shivas. So, our synergies are Mog and Snow to search for Lightning. We want to get Lightning out as early as possible. If we can get Lightning out by turn 1, we're doing so well, simply because our opponent is forced to answer the aggression. And on top of that, if they only play 1 forward per turn, we can start to bounce that forward over and over, and they have to keep playing it and draining resources, which is great. Serah is really good with the Lightning because Serah will draw us a card if we are controlling a Category 13 character that isn't Ice, and Lightning is that. And obviously 1 CP Shiva gets much better for every Shiva we put in the break zone. Another funny side note is the 4 CP Devout backup here is really, really strong in this deck because it lets us select cards and then put one of them into the bin and the other goes into our hand. This is really good, especially because it gives us the choice of what Shivas we have, and it gives us the choice of forwards or monsters or backups. Very, very strong, even if we can't really play into our aggressive turn 1 Lightning. For card advantage, this is more that we will get more cards over time by our opponents having less cards. So Orphan, Scale Toad, and Flan forces our opponents to lose cards. Shantoda lets us recur our necessary forwards to keep the game going. Obviously, they want to be removing our Lightnings and things, and it also functions as like a pseudo board wipe if we really need it to. Celeste searches Lock. We'll get lots of backups off of Lock, and obviously the more backups we have, the more we can play quicker. And Serah obviously draws us cards, as well as discarding cards, which is a double whammy for the card advantage. Our removal Lightning keeps things bounced back to hand. Is really easy to go, okay, go to combat, attack with Lightning, and before blocks, go ahead and dull something down while milling us for 2, and then also I'm going to bounce a thing so you can't block. Anything that's got only a couple forwards on the field is going to be really, really strong in that instance, because we can just keep them down on our terms every single time. And obviously, Shiva deals damage to attacking forwards and forces our opponent to dull freeze things. And this can be really important, especially if your opponent knows what they're playing against. They're going to have to consider when to attack and when not to. And some of these Shivas are just EX bursts as well, so they have to be a little bit more careful, and that's kind of the thing that we want our opponent to do while playing Prison, is just be completely unsure of any of their plays, and that's important. You're winning a psychological battle at that point. And for protection, we're running 1 copy of Charlotte. It doesn't need to be much, but it is very important in this list, especially in like fire matchups. We're just running 1 of it, but because we have so much card selection in the form of Devout, Lot could even search us forwards conceivably. That's kind of important. Oh, I forgot to put this here, but Jill Nabat is also really important in this list, especially if we're playing against fire or early, or just early kind of aggression backups where my opponent just plays a bunch of backups and it deals damage to these. I think this card's pretty good. It gets around Zandy and stuff. So it's only really niche. That's why we're only including 1 of it, but it's there. Yeah. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I've started a Twitch channel as well. That's twitch.tv/Gale Gaming Serah. That's Serah with an E and an H at the end. Just like the card. But yeah, let me know how your day has been in the comments below, and don't forget to come on over and say hi on the Twitch channel. I stream on Fridays for Final Fantasy from 5 till 8 British Standard Time. But yeah, thanks for watching.